Let's roll it all back to Sweet Baby Inc. and talk about that company again today, because there has been some pretty funny details that have been revealed over the past 48 hours that I want to share with all of you because, well, I think it's funny. So let's go back to the latest Sweet Baby Inc. touched game, and that is, of course, Unknown 9 Awakening. The latest of failures for Sweet Baby Inc., a game that's not even that old. When did this game drop? Is that the date on here? Well, it was like last week or something. It's not that old. Yeah, release date, October 17th. So, not that long ago. 48 people played in that game right now. Right now, a total of 48 people with a 76 24-hour peak. So, yeah, this game's really making waves out there. Let's roll it back. Let's talk about the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., Kim Blair. Head honcho of the Sweet Baby Inc. organization, company, whatever the hell you want to call it. She has quite the podcast history. A couple different ones. Madam Savvy uncovered some additional podcasts, but I think this one is a little bit more interesting. So she went on a podcast pretty much devoted to sex. That's the podcast. It's a sex podcast. The sexiest podcast, actually. And she said some pretty funny things. I think that they're funny. Anyway, not judging, just sharing the information. Public figure of, well, at least a limited public figure that's pretty much running a company designed to lecture people on how they should be thinking, and, misogyny and racism and all that good stuff. And turns out she's quite the fan of certain things, mostly cartoon characters or animals in general, like this one, the Kidoo, a sexy animal, or the exact quote from Kim Blair is the most attractive mammal other than humans. So let's look at some of the quotes from this sex podcast that she went on. Here's the Kidoo one. We're going to get to the Bowser stuff, but she claimed that antelopes called Kidoos were the most attractive non-human mammal before bragging that she has the skull of one in her home. So all this was uncovered by Gothic Therapy over on YouTube. It's ran by Master of the TDS over on Twitter, does great work. Give them a follow and check out their channel. But this is what everyone's been talking about here. These Bowser quotes that she said. And she said this stuff on that podcast. Now, honestly, I don't care what you're into. The reason that this is funny to me is because Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't make attractive women, or at least consults against making attractive women. These are the same people that rail against games like Stellar Blade and say games like Stellar Blade hurt real women. They hurt women. It's bad for men, all that shit. But then you catch these people into really strange, like they're into strange things. Like, honestly, like, and they talk about Bowser's dong. It's kind of weird. I mean, whatever. If that's what you're into, I mean, you're not hurting anybody, but the fact that you're consulting a company and actively going against things, like a woman showing any kind of boob, or like what happened to Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2, which I have no doubt that they consulted on and helped change to make her a little bit more masculine. And then we find out shit like this. I mean, the pictures of the podcast. So there are pictures of this podcast out there. Madam Savvy found them. And it's Kim Blair in like a lacy kind of undergarment. It's a two-piece kind of lingerie thing. And I think she was holding, I don't want to say for sure she was, but I swear she was holding like a little crop whip thingy. And she was side by side with another chick who was just as scantily clad dressed. But, you know, we're getting rid of that in gaming now. It's very strange, this whole attitude that these people have towards games. But then, you know, we find out about these people, and it's almost, well, let's say it like this. There's many such cases of people that are super hardcore pro-censorship or anything like that, and then you find out that they're into some pretty wild shit. It's almost like the routine at this point. So here's the quote. She is quoted in the interview stating that Bowser is I'm going to guess that's word because it's censored, bondage daddy sexy. He's bondage daddy sexy, probably because of the spike collars and stuff that he wears. Before going on to recount her experience when the co-host of the podcast told her to look up Bowser Day on Tumblr. I didn't even these things were. I guess, you know, Rule 34 is a thing, to be fair. So there's going to be something. There's probably Mario Day on Tumblr. She states that she then looked through the pages, and they consisted of explicit Bowser images. And then the co-host or the other host, or I don't know if they shared this show or what, because it keeps saying co-host. So is there an entire series of episodes with Kim Blair and this other woman talking about stuff like this? You know people are going to go through them all now. So the co-host went on to describe a particular part of Bowser's anatomy in great detail. Sometimes he had a turtle wee-wee, and sometimes he had a more mammal-looking wee-wee, she said. I'm changing it from the actual word. I don't know how YouTube's things will handle that, so we'll just tone down that language a little. Blair then seems to try and distance herself from the images before freely admitting that she scrolled through all of them. I'm one of those people who on the internet, I'm going to click it, Blair said. When I go to the Bowser date tag, I can go like, oh no, this isn't what I wanted. Better look at it all, though. So I'm just going to read what Gothic Therapy, Master of the TDS, said on his show here, because he makes a really good point. These are the people who say, hey, you need to come to us and you need to get your game consulted with us to make sure it doesn't offend people. And then also, if you're going to stand on your high horse and pretend that you're better than other people and other gamers because you wouldn't stoop to that degeneracy, he said, caught red-handed, you not only would stoop to that degeneracy, you are that degeneracy. So you're no better than anybody else who wants to see people from Stellar Blade and wants to see them with less clothes on. You're no better. You are the head of a company who is literally about trying to be inclusive and diverse and to protect women from the terrible gamers, and here you are being the same degeneracy that you claim to be against. I mean, it's a fair point. And he's right. These people want to attack us for liking Stellar Blade, but then here they are looking at sex pictures of Bowser on Tumblr under the tag Bowser Day. And I wonder how much more there is, because it sounds like she was like a regular on this show. So I'm sure, there's probably going to be more shit that comes out. Man, this is the last thing I expected to see last night, but here we are. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.